Yo, what's good? We are here with another patch that has upset the community yet again because it is a little bit of adjustments for certain characters. Obviously, we have the brand new character Yasmin, but overall, no overall system mechanic changes. Um, Time will tell whether the changes are actually substantial and change the meta and make things interesting. There are some characters that definitely got hit hard, like um Mai, for example. I know Sagat got some changes that make him a little bit easier to fight, but then you got some other what the hell happened here changes like Bison or Ryu or JP or Luke. Like Luke got some really autopilot for the sake of it changes. I heard Blanka got buffs. Like there's some weird stuff in here in this patch. So obviously I'm gonna keep playing because I still have this long term goal of getting the high master. But really quick, I want to talk about how I feel about Chun's changes. Chun-li has been a character that has been overall like I feel like almost every patch is like quality of life fixes for her. Like they make her a little bit easier to play. They usually will buff something in modern. She has gotten like buffs, obviously. Like she hasn't necessarily been nerfed as a character. Like there's certain things that they've changed that feel like nerfs but aren't really nerfs, like the Hazanshu change, which you could still to this day debate whether it was a nerf or not. Um, but overall, uh, the changes they've made to her historically have her kind of the same place every season, where she's good, but she gets outclassed by other similar characters. But seeing how Mai, who was like her number one competitor in that realm, is nerfed, maybe she'll fare better. But then you have, Cammy getting buffed. You have uh, other characters kind of sneaking up. Like who time will tell whether things happen. But I want to talk about Chun's changes real quick, um, because there is some cool stuff here for sure. First, most obvious change to her kit is the change for Serenity Stream, which is mostly a quality of life change. But it is a really good one because now instead of having to input the quarter circle twice, quarter circle back punch twice, you just press up and they come out of it. So you don't. So something that would happen to me is what was happening before. So like you might get this by accident when you're trying to go into stance and then do unstance, right? Like your inputs have to be a little bit cleaner than mine tend to be. That'll happen. But now, I could just do this, right? Which obviously will eliminate errors and make things a lot more purposeful. So that is a really good change for her. Another change is for Chun-Li's stance heavy punch, the Lotus Fist. This is now +1. And this is really good because now if you are in like a Oki situation where you get the knockdown and you want to use the Lotus Fist as like pressure, if they do block it, you still are plus and you get an opportunity to keep your advantage. See, +1. And that is extremely powerful. And it's going to help her Oki a lot, especially if you're trying to go for mix and, you go from this into the Lotus Fist or this, whatever it is. Like you have options to keep people on their toes. So I do like that change. Another thing that they changed is the medium Tensho kicks. So the medium Tensho kicks, they basically gave it more meter gain on hit. And there's also like a combo change to it. Like I'm reading the notes literally as I'm saying this, and it says that for medium Tensho kicks, it increased the combo count upper limit, which I'm always confused by that wording. So it's one of those things where I just need to see somebody do something with it, and then I'll be like, oh, like this is what this does. But essentially, like it's just better meter gain, and it gives a little bit more incentive for people to use it. Another change happened for light Hazanshu, where with light Hazanshu, they changed the advantage on block from -3. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. They changed the advantage on block from -5 to -4. So it's still not necessarily like usable in a lot of these situations. Like for some reason, they want you to use this as like a poke. But what I was talking to Twin Fun, and if your opponent is burned out, um, it does create an interesting scenario where uh, you just have a little bit more flexibility with your block strings. You know, like they can't necessarily fight because you're 0 after that, right? So if they wanted to, you know, if they sorry her, let's see, block reversal. I think her crouching light punch is her fastest normal. Right, that trades. So again, it's like it's not like super strong, but it's something to consider when you're doing your drive rush pressure. I mean, burnout pressure. And if they are being silly and pressing buttons that are a little bit slower, you will be at an advantage. But it's one of those weird changes that I don't fully understand, but it is what it is. It also increased the blowback time on the mid-air hit. So, let's see. So I just wanted to make a quick addendum to something I just said, where I couldn't tell what the extra blowback on this was for. But basically, it just makes it so you can connect the level 3 afterwards, finally. So if you do get a combo, you get what you used to get. Bam. So that's extremely useful. Something they should have never taken away. So that's cool. Anyway, what else happened? They added some invincibility to Tensho kicks. That's fine. But yeah, that's essentially. Oh, but the most important change, or not the most important, I would say that the most important might be the Serenity stream one. But they did make some changes to lightning legs, and basically they made it so medium and EX legs have more forward movement before the startup. So they connect from places they wouldn't always connect from, and it makes combos a little bit more consistent. But also, in my opinion, it makes it so like I feel like they want you to use these a little bit more for whiff punish. We already talked about this one since you get the knockdown for the light kick, but for medium, like if they're, you know, for example, if they're throwing out buttons, um, you see, you get the punish counter, and then you get something like that. Now, but most importantly, I feel like for the EX legs, it's even better. I'm shitty at that, but yeah, I feel like this change will actually be really good just for punishing things. Like I feel like they want you to use her specials in neutral a little bit more reliably. A little bit kind of like Bison. Pretty solid change overall. You know, I feel like it'll just make her a little bit easier to use. Like ultimately, I think some of the other Chun players have been saying it too. It's just like it makes her a little bit easier, a little bit more consistent. They still didn't fix level 2, so you're still going to be uh whiffing level 2 in certain situations where you might not want to. She's obviously still going to be one of the more challenging characters to use just because some of the other characters have more advantageous situations. But you know, she's still going to be fun. She's still going to be good. I like the changes. I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, if it actually manifests into something that will make a difference for my gameplay. But yeah, we'll see. Time will tell. But thank you for watching, and I'll try to be back with some ranked. Eventually, I do want to try Yasmin in ranked. I need to play some cammy in ranked again too. But obviously, the goal with Chun is kind of like overtaking everything. And my limited time, Chun is still kind of my priority. So we'll see. You know. All right. Peace.